The name of this video is Black Hebrew Israelites that don't believe in the Messiah. Black Hebrew Israelites that don't believe in the Messiah. It's a growing group of people that call themselves Hebrew Israelites that say they don't believe in the Messiah. They say that he never existed. Or they say things like, we are the sons of the Most High. They don't believe in the New Testament as well. They only read the Old Testament. So they say the New Testament was made up by white people, Greeks, and things of this nature. So the New Testament is not valid. So they stick with the Torah and just deal with the Old Testament. This is what they do. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to use the Old Testament to prove the existence of Yeshua HaMashiach and see that the prophets of old talked about his coming. This is in the Old Testament. So we'll do this and see about Yeshua's coming. So let's see. Let's start off first in Zechariah chapter 9, verse 9. Let's see what that says. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, thy king cometh unto thee. He is just, and having salvation, nobly, and riding upon an ass, and upon a colt, the foal of an ass. Okay, that's pretty clear and simple who's that talking about. You can read later on in the New Testament when Yeshua made that prophecy come clear, when he did exactly that. Now this is in the Old Testament. This is in Zechariah that they're prophesying this. Okay? Well, we're not done yet. Let's go to Isaiah 52. See what that has to say. This is Isaiah 52. We'll start at 13 and go right into 53. Behold, my servant shall deal prudently. He shall be exalted and extolled, and be very high. And as many were astonished at these, his vesture was so marred more than any man, and his form more than the sons of men. Okay, that's talking about everything that he went through. So shall he sprinkle many nations and kings, and shut their mouths at him. For that which had not been told them shall they see, and that which they had not heard shall they consider. All right, that's talking about his second coming, how he going to take over the world and kill all those wicked people when he come back. All right, let's go back to 53. Who have believed our report, and to whom is the arm of the Most High revealed? For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground. He have no form, no comeliness, and when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we shall desire him. He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows, and acquainted with grief. And we hid as it was our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not. If you know about the Messiah story, you know that hardly nobody believed him, especially the scribes and Pharisees, and the majority of the Jews didn't believe he was the son of the Most High Yahweh. That's what he went through. Surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of Yahweh, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions. All right, stop right there. Who is that talking about? This is in Isaiah right now. But he was wounded for our transgressions. Only one person fit that. So how can you read this and not notice this is talking about the Messiah? He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. I mean, that's self-explanatory. That's talking about the Messiah right here. But you got Black Hebrew Israelites that'll read this and say it's not talking about the Messiah. Just ridiculous. Let's keep going. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned every one to his own way. And the Most High Yahweh have laid on him the iniquity of us all. Once again, he paid for the sins of us all. All those that follow his commandments anyway. All those who find his commandments will make it into the kingdom. Okay? He was oppressed, and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shears is dumb. So he opened not his mouth. Okay, let's start at the top of that. It said he was oppressed, and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. Later on, when you read, when Paul was asking the questions that he was asking him, he stayed silent most of the time. Okay? 8. He was taken from prison, from judgment, and who shall declare his generation? Okay, when it says who shall declare his generation, if you know when he was born, Herod got the children all killed from 2 years old under trying to find him. So they had to flee in Egypt to escape that. That's what that's talking about. For he was cut off out of the land of the living, for the transgressions of my people was he stricken. And he made his grave with the wicked, and with the rich in his death. Now it says when he made his grave with the wicked, you know, he's between two sinners. One of them repented, the other didn't. And he told the one of them that repented that he would be in the kingdom with him. All right, and it says, and with the rich in his death, he was buried in a rich man's sepulchre. Okay, because he had done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth. Yet it pleased the Most High Yahweh to bruise him. He hath put him to grief, when thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin. He shall see his seed, he shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of Yahweh shall prosper in his hand. He shall see the travail of his soul, and shall be satisfied. By his knowledge shall righteous servant justify many, for he shall bear their iniquities. Therefore will I divide him a portion with the great, and he shall divide spoil with the strong, because he hath poured out his soul unto death, and he was numbered with the transgressors, and he bare the sin of many. Once again, it keeps saying that. Who else can this be talking about? He bare the sin of many. This is in Isaiah. And made intercession for the transgressors. Okay? That's Isaiah 52 going into 53. But we got more though. Let's go to Psalms 22. Let's see what Psalms 22 got to say. This is Psalms 22. We're going to start at verse 10 and end at 18. Okay. Psalms 22, 10 through 18. I was cast upon thee from the womb, thou art my Elohim, from my mother's belly. Be not far from me, for trouble is here, for there is none to help. Many bulls have compassed me, strong bulls of Bashan has beset me about. They gape upon me with their mouths as a ravening and roaring lion. I am poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint. My heart is like wax. It is melted in the midst of my bowels. All right, top of 14, it says, I am poured out like water. You know, when they stabbed him, blood and water came out. Okay? My strength is dried up like a potsherd, and my tongue cleaved to my jaws, and thou hast brought me into the dust of death. For dogs have compassed me, the assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They have pierced my hands and my feet. Okay, that's plain and simple. Once again, when you read later on, that's exactly what they did to him when they hung him on that tree in that Roman crucifixion. I may tell all my bones, they look and stare at me. They part my garments among them and cast lots upon my vessels. Once again, they did exactly that. They parted his garments, cast his lots upon his vessels. They did exactly that. All right. That's Psalms 22, 10 through 18. More in the Old Testament. Okay? But we got more. We're not done yet. Let's go to one more place. Let's go to Genesis. Let's go to the beginning. Let's go to creation and see what's happening there. Okay? All right. All right. This is Genesis chapter 1. We'll start at verse 26. I want to get right to the point. But this is right after Yahweh made everything. After Yeshua made everything, so to speak. And we'll start right after he made the beast. Okay, this is right after he made the animals and all the beasts and everything. And let's see what verse 26 has to say. All right. And Yahweh said, let us make man in our image, after all likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. Okay, let's go to the top of that, right? And Yahweh said, let us make man in our image. Obviously, there's two entities talking together, having a conversation here. Who is Yahweh talking to? Who is he talking to? None other than Yeshua HaMashiach. We know that Yahweh gave Yeshua the power to do all things. Why is this? Well, Yahweh tells us that your firstborn son you give your inheritance to. Okay? You're supposed to give him your strength, the majority of your wealth and everything. Yahweh follows this example himself with Yeshua. Yeshua being the firstborn of everything. He gave Yeshua all the power that he has. That's why Yeshua is going to be doing all the judgment and everything. So Yeshua had the power to make everything in the beginning. Yeshua says this later on when he tells the Jews that I am. Like we see in Exodus when Moses was looking at the burning bush and asked him, what should I tell thee your name is? And he said, I am. And Yeshua said the same thing later. Right here we see this conversation between the two of them. Yeshua has the power to do the same thing Yahweh does. Yahweh gave him that power. Okay? It's obvious that two are having a conversation here. And Yahweh's not talking to angels because angels don't look like men. They can come looking like men upon the earth, but that's not their natural form. You can read about their natural form right in Ezekiel. With the wings and the eyes over the wings and things of that nature. That's what an angel look like in his natural form. We look like Yahweh. We're looking in his image, fingers, toes, head. We look like him. Okay? And they're having a conversation right here. Who is he talking to? So with that being said, I just wanted to use the Old Testament to prove that Yeshua HaMashiach was definitely in the Old Testament. Definitely talked about. There's no way around it. You can't get around it. So, all these people out here that don't believe in Yeshua and call themselves Hebrew Israelites, it's just damn ridiculous. It makes no sense at all. You got no chance. If I was you, I'd rethink that. You know? I just wanted to show y'all that real quick and show you that indeed that Yeshua HaMashiach is in the Old Testament. Indeed. Didn't even have to go to the New Testament. We just stayed with the Old. Anyway, that's it for this video. I'll see y'all next time.